It's a Sunday morning, another Sunday morning out here in New Jersey, and it's going to be too cold soon to be sitting out here, so in another month I'm going to be doing any of these inside, trying to figure out the lighting. But this morning's topic is coincidence and embracing coincidence, um, because I think there's only coincidence, despite uh, what we think we're doing to organize the world around us and the things that happen to us. Because we we hear that phrase all the time that there's no such thing as coincidence, and there are no accidents, and I don't think that's true. I think it's very much the opposite. I think there is coincidence all the time, and that it's something to embrace. Something to look forward to, because I don't know what's going to happen today. And uh, another way that phrase is put is that shit happens, and I think, well, why not then take the attitude that amazing shit happens? Yeah, shit happens. Really great shit happens. Fun shit happens. Things happen all the time that I'm not expecting, for all of us. There's this need, it seems, to control what we go through and to feel as if I am the master of my destiny, and I don't want to be the master of my destiny. I do want to shape my dream. I want to create potentialities, which is what I think it's really about. I've written here um, that it's not about magical thinking. I'm not talking about, some book called The Secret, not specifically, identifying that book, but there's lots of that around, and people buy them and they spend money and they chant and they do all this stuff to try to sort of bend space-time and suspend the rules of physics and, like make magical things happen. And I think the most magical thing that can ever happen to us has already happened. I'm sitting here. I'm me. I'm Mark, and I've been me for almost 52 years next year. And that's like, how did that happen? That's very mystical and magical and coincidental, really. I don't believe that there's a supernatural being who has a plan for me. I don't really know why I would want to believe that. Is it because I'm afraid to just let accidents happen in my day-to-day life and like view it all with this just deep curiosity? I'm a very curious person, and I think most of us start out that way, very, very curious, looking little kids, infants even, looking at the world around us and, uh, being amazed at these shapes and forms. And so, and then we grow up and it all gets very hard and sort of dull and hard-edged. But coincidence is not knowing who I'm going to run into. It's not knowing that I might meet my partner at an event that I go to. I had no idea that I was going to meet my partner 4 years ago at this dating event. I had not a clue. I wanted it to happen. That was my intention, to create that in my life, to open my life up to that, which is more how I would put it, because I don't think I can make things happen necessarily. I can only take actions that allow them to happen, with a job at work that I'm hoping that I get. If I get it, great. I'm not going to say I made it happen. I'm going to say that I prepared myself for it to happen. And it's a total coincidence that the person that had the job left. That was a coincidence. Um, right at the time that I was looking for one. So I don't think like, oh, my higher power did that. One of these days I'll get into the whole recovery thing, about higher powers. No, I don't think my higher power fired somebody so I could get her job. That's like, how vain and selfish is that? But it was a fabulous coincidence, and we encounter those. We have the opportunity to encounter those every day of our lives, with the people we interact with and the things we run into. And sometimes these coincidences are tragic. Sometimes a car accident is a coincidence. Uh, you know, um, but it's not really about judging it, good or bad, or trying to think if God made it happen or I made it happen. And it's certainly not about denying it. You know, there are coincidences all the time. Life is pretty much a series of coincidences. No matter how much energy I invest in, coming up with blueprints and laying foundations and all this other stuff, it's just a fabulous, wonderful sort of perpetual accident. And enjoy that. Enjoy that. Embrace that. Say, "Oh God, what am I gonna see today that I never thought I was? Who am I gonna meet? And how much more can I love? How much more can I participate?" That's embracing coincidence, and I do. At least I'm trying to now. So there you go. And what a gorgeous day. The leaves are still on the trees, and when they're not, hopefully I can look at them and see them as beautiful when they're bare.